I'm Jason. I teach non-technical people, like myself, how to build apps without writing one line of code. Today we're going to start building a Twitter clone on a tool called Bubble. I'm pretty stoked about this, so let's get started. We're in Bubble now, and looking at a blank canvas. And the world is our oyster at this point, but it's hard sometimes looking at a blank canvas, because where do you start? Well, we're building a Twitter clone, so let's take a quick look at Twitter and see what we need. First thing we need is maybe a title and maybe an icon. So let's head back to Bubble. And looking at my element list here, I'm going to drag a text element, the first one. We'll drag that onto the screen, we'll call it Twitter. And I'm just going to change the style here, make it a little bit bigger. And we'll center it. Next thing we need is an icon. So here there's an element called icon. We'll drag that onto the screen. And we'll search for Twitter, and there's actually one here by default. Cool, let's take a look at the Twitter homepage again. The next thing we'll probably need is a sign up and login button. So let's head back to Bubble and see what we can do there. Looking in my element list, we do have the button option as well, so we'll drag one of these onto the screen. And we'll call it sign up login. And we'll change the style again and center it. So now if I take a look in my page list here on the top left, we're currently looking at the index page, that's the first page, but there's also one called Sign Up Login Pop-up, and this one comes out of the box, so it's already available for us to use. So we're going to use that. So what I want to do is when the user clicks Sign Up Login, I want that pop-up to show. So to assign actions to this button, I'm going to double click it and click on Start Edit Workflow. When button Sign Up Login is clicked, what happens? Click here to add an action. I'm going to go to Element Actions and then Show, because I want to show that pop-up. If I look at my element list here, I have the text element, the icon, and the button, but the pop-up doesn't show up here. That's because we haven't added it to the screen yet. So I'm going to head back to Design Mode. And if I scroll all the way down to my element list here, there's actually this Sign Up Login pop-up element here. I'm going to drag that right onto the screen. That looks pretty good, so we can click out of there and go back to Workflow. And now my show element list includes Sign Up Login pop-up. So let's head back to Design, and we're going to preview this and test it out. So on the top right here, I can click Preview. And we can see what we have so far. We have our text element, our icon, and our button. And when we click our button, since we added a workflow to it, it's going to open up this pop-up. And I already made an account, so I'm going to use that. Great, so we're logged in, but it took us back to the same page. We probably want to go to a different page, one that has maybe somewhere where you can tweet and a feed. So let's head back to Bubble, and if we look at our page list again in the top left, we have the option to add a new page. So we'll call this page Feed. And I'm just going to throw a text element onto the screen here so we know which page we're looking at. We'll call it this is the feed page. Now I want to open up my Sign Up Login pop-up page because we're going to change a workflow here. So if I head to Workflow, there's a few of them that are here automatically by default. The one I'm looking for here is when button login is clicked. So when that button is clicked, we log the user in, we hide the pop-up, and the last thing I want to do here is go to a new page. We're going to go to the feed page we just created. So I can go to navigation and then go to page. The destination is going to be feed. That's the page we just created. And that's all I have to do there. So let's head back to design and go back to our index page, and we're going to preview this again. And now when we click login, we'll log in again. So this now redirects to our new page, feed, instead of staying on the same page. I'm going to stop here for this video, but tune into the next one, and we're going to give the user the ability to tweet and see a feed of tweets from other users. I appreciate you watching. If you like this video, let me know and I'll start making more. Thanks, and I'll see you on the next one.